Hey guys, welcome. What I'll do is while people join this time around, I'll leave the open arena for this open arena season set up at the moment. This is for this S57. I'll switch to the 277, my main account afterwards. I'll give it some time for players to join. Go, you can ask while we wait. No worries at all. I am here just waiting. I'll put a cam in a second, guys. Sorry. Just fixing a little bit of something here. Yeah, so today what we're going to do is, again, as usual, we're going to do live question. I'm also going to go over the small notes that we just received this week. I think there's not a lot to talk about, but there are two things coming very soon on the patch notes. We're also going to review a player or two, of course, and then we'll see how the question goes. Some as a very free-to-play team on my server in for me. You can share what is the free-to-play account, March, and yours, and we can see if you're on the Discord as well. You can also share reports, and we can try and see why he is being a problem for you. Okay. So he has a Hannibal, Cleo, Gilgamesh, and Caesar. That's quite uncommon. Yeah, give me 1 second for the cam. I'm fixing something here. Give me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Hey, hey. All right, all right. So what? So Slendy, I think it would be easier if you share on the Discord. What is your team? What is the enemy team? And also you can share the report. We're going to be able to take a look. So this was the setup that I'm going for at the moment for Open Arena, season 29 for S57. So this is the one with the most player in. I jammed a few times just to reach a last chest, and it's the first day, so I want to reach around 100. And then let me share the other season because now that I am both in 57 and 277 with a few account, the Open Arena is actually not the same season. So I have two different teams given that they are not going to be the same immortal and skills that is banned during this season. Let me show you. So this is going to be my Open Arena for 277. It's a little bit different. I tried to do something a little bit different with this setup here. There's actually 3 semi-mortal because there's a chaos. Semi-element, sorry. But I'm trying something a little bit different. On my mini account that is in 277, I also went with a Full Fate instead of Poseidon that has been, would say, the most successful in Ocarina. But for me now, season 29, says season 17, sorry. Open Arena is starting to be a little bit too much of the same. I would really like them to put more than just the current Chaos model. And also, I think when you select your element, it would be nice if they add red skills and let us pick one to do something a little bit different, right? All right, so let me go to the question first. So there's a question here, which first premium skill should I buy first on my March? You have a Alex, YSS, Queen Zenobia, currently season 1. So the reality for you, because you're using the very strong but free-to-play or free-to-play friendly Alex March, you will have to wait, in my opinion, until Knife Through Butter or Fully Prepare is unlocked and you're going to be able to get them. The reason is as soon as you're going to start getting red skills in the Wishing Well event, you're not going to want any of these first red skill for your March. This is not going to be for Alex March. This is not the best anymore for Alex March. Drastic action, in my opinion, for Alex March is really just a bigger well that does not use Quinn, that use Fufe. So I wouldn't go with drastic action. Attacking defense, you don't want it. Life protection, way later. Energy mastery, you can even wear it, you can even put it. So really, it's going to be Knife Through Butter or Fully Prepare. You can go with either of these two, but the first red skill for you would be one of these two, for sure. If you only go with one, it's still one of these two. If you go with two, I would go with these two. If you go with three, I'll probably introduce Fountain of Life as the third one, because Fountain of Life as a third skill is pretty good. It's going to counter No Escape. There's a few questions. Give me 1 second. Yes, we will look at the new skill when I look at the patch notes. I'll give it some time so player join. I will look at the patch notes pretty early on. It is something that we need to be aware. It's probably going to be live next Thursday, so we still have a few days before it comes online. It's a pretty small patch note overall, however. The same alliance? I'm not sure what you mean by the same alliance. Do you mean the same server or in all three? In Conquest? The same alliance wouldn't be able to be in all three faction for sure. I'm going to share Open Arena again just so you see. So I went with this a little bit uncommon, Matilda, Tomiris, Poseidon, YSS. I put my Shadow Dragon, and then I did this one here, and I might put this one on first. I'll see. The only reason I'm doing this one here, at first I wanted the win to try out Matilda in my main. I don't really want anybody else. I think the win is a little bit weaker this season because there's no Quinn. But with this here, what I'm trying to do is basically use a Fire Dragon to give some damage. And same thing with my 2 Mage to give out some damage. Not trying to win anything, just damage 1 or 2 Immortal. And then my last March can try and take care of them. It's been mixed so far on result. I lost this one here pretty easily, but Tamiris actually countered my YSS on the battle here. But here it was a close one. This one is actually a Oli. I went with Shadow. This was actually good. So we'll see, but I don't I don't gem a lot. I only gem until this chess. This season for Open Arena seems to be way less populated than the other one in 57, so we'll see how it goes. So when it comes to equipment gems, is it enough to just press auto equip, or should I gem? Yes, so for the equipment, you're talking about these, right? No, you don't want to do auto equip. The reason is if you do auto equip on tanks, especially tanks and support for the weapon, you're going to place physical damage gems. You do not want physical damage gem on your tank. It's useless. You want to go with magical defense or physical defense. So be careful. And also here, when it's a tank and support, you definitely want resilience. And I would take it even further. Most of the time, if you have enough, I would actually go with resilience on my Alex as well. Now, at the moment, I don't have enough to put resilience on all my immortal or my main, so I went with accuracy. But the truth is, accuracy is so high, like we mentioned so many times, you're actually going to benefit more from a resilience gems here. But this here, you will want physical, and I went physical defense, physical defense. I'm not upgrading them because I'm going to work on my Athena. She's starting to be ready soon. And I still need to work on her gems. They're still level 1. This one 4, but most of them level 1. She's not quite there yet, but soon. Attacking defense is honestly really, really underwhelming. I don't like the skill. I don't think it's a skill that anybody but very big whales should get. Basically, those that are going to get all the red skill. Except those player, I wouldn't go attacking defense. Reality is for a red skill, 60% chance is extremely low. Every 6 seconds, it's not 3. At 60% for a red skill, it's low. The increased physical defense 100% is really nice. It's only physical. It's not magical at all. And then you have the damage, which is quite low for a red skill. It's trying to do a little bit too much. I don't like the skill, honestly. Yes, so I understand what you mean. So a player is asking why there is multiple alliance from the same server inside their own KVK. It's about luck. It's all about luck. The first legendary season, the 136, actually had their both strong alliance in the same KVK map. So it's all about luck. I do think, and a lot of players have been arguing or trying to get changes on the matchup, the matchmaking for KVK. I'm one of them for sure. I don't think the matchmaking at the moment makes a lot of sense. Hopefully, there's going to be changes soon, but we'll see. You have a Earth and Fire only with Poseidon, and please, can you do a video? So for Open Arena, the problem is there's different season. It's harder to do a video on it because if you're not in the same season as me, you're not going to be able to use the same setup. I can give you a good example here. You see, these are the top player at the moment. These are the bad immortal. If I go back to my account in 57, you're going to see that it's actually not the same season. It's actually not the same players. Here you see a different immortal that are banned. I had Matilla on my main. I can use it here. Oops. And when you look at the ranking, completely different players. So there are different season of Open Arena, a little bit like TOS. There's different season. So you need to be careful on that for sure. I did open on the Discord a channel to discuss Open Arena. But honestly, Open Arena at this point for me, I am no longer quite a fan of it. The reason it's like this is season 29 now, it's become too repetitive and there's no change. Yes, the immortal ban are a little bit different every time, skills as well, but it's always the same chaos immortal that you have access to. They need to add other chaos, and I think they should add a red skill option as well. If we could choose one red skill among all the red skill, it would do something a little bit different to change how Open Arena kind of works. So what I do in Open Arena, honestly, right now, I'm testing more than anything. But I did share my team on Discord for the Open Arena new season. For the Earth, Fire, and Oli with Poseidon, can you share it on the Discord? We can discuss that team later on. If you share it, that's fine. All right, so now there's a few more. What I'll do right away is I'll go to the patch notes. So give me 1 second. I'm going to move to the patch notes. Patch notes, they're here. All right. All right, so we're gonna look at the patch note together, guys. If you have any question on the patch note, just let me know. So first one, added resource speed up tracking feature in the inventory. I'm assuming right now when you look at the speed up, you have to count everything yourself. Maybe now we're gonna get a kind of a summary of how many speed up we have for each one of them. That could be nice. It's not a big change, just a small breath of life change here. Same here, nothing really changed. Not quite sure what's going to change, but it's very minimal. This is where the patch note is almost all about. There's going to be a new skill. Now, we don't know if it's going to be a triggered or a passive. It could be triggered, it could be passive. Not sure yet. But this skill is definitely countering Loki and Himiko pretty hard. Now, Loki has become, except Medusa, the best carry in the game. A lot of the player, what happened is they circle back to Loki, especially because during the seasonal event, he is almost 50% off nowadays. And he is, at the end of the day, one of the first Chaos model to be released. I think Infinite Kingdom did not like that a lot of players stopped going for other Chaos and just settled for Loki. And now this is going to be something to counter that meta. This skill, which is going to reduce the magical damage taken. This is not an aura. It cannot be an aura. So it's going to be only applicable to the immortal that the skill is on. But a lot of the team at the moment are one carry, at least one true carry, with Ares and Alex being more of a support type. This is still very good. And then you also have a damage every 6 seconds. So now this is every 6 seconds, not 3 like Infinite Firepower. But we're going to look at the damage rate here, which is quite nice. We're going to see how much that is going to do in game. But because it's every 6 seconds, the damage output will be a little bit lower than when you look at Infinite Firepower, which is for magic damage, right? It's going to be a little bit lower because you see here it's going to be around the same, but this one is every 3 seconds. But what is really nice about this new skill is not only you get the magical damage taken reduction, but there's no chance. You see here, there's no chance at all. Infinite Firepower has a 60% chance. So overall, the damage output from this skill can actually be as good as infinite firepower, but for physical damage. And you also get crit as well. So this is 100% going to replace the current meta for the bigger well that are using Medusa and Apollo. Here, if you look at the current meta, a lot of the player in the TOS, well, I don't even need to go to TOS. I can just go to my main and look at our big guy. 1 second. You're going to see that a lot of the player use 1 or 2 skill on their Can, Apollo, on their Medusa, and that skill is this one here, unyielding. They will not use it unyielding anymore. They're going to go for the new skill for sure. This is going to protect them from magical damage. It's going to give them physical damage every 6 seconds, and is still going to increase the crit. Now it's only going to be 30%, but you're going to get way more. This skill is going to be gone from a bigger well. The new skill is going to be implemented. This skill, which is going to be very good, we don't know if there's a restriction on who it can be placed on, but it could actually be also placed on Alex, on Poseidon, on Ares. The reason is the reduction you still need. It's still good overall. You can, again, it can go with fully prepare and knife through butter. There's nothing that says that it cannot. You're going to get more damage from it. Now, the crit is not all that essential for Alex, but still, you're still getting a lot from it, in my opinion. So this skill is definitely going to be very good. Is it the first skill to get? Well, first, if you're in season 1, you're going to have to wait quite longer to get access to this skill. If you're in the later season and you're still wondering, should I go for this skill as my first skill? I don't think the answer is yes. Example, if you have a Can, a Himiko, Energy Mastery is still going to be better as a first skill than this. Fully Prepare Knife Through Butter is still going to be a better skill than this for Alex. But this is definitely a very, very strong skill for the mid spender and plus. Thanks for being here, lurking players from 470 and 488. That's quite new. New players for sure. Make sure you look at the starting guide that I did, the part 1 and 2. It's definitely going to help. So Lightning Blessing here, we don't know yet. We're going to have to look at the full description of the skill. It could be a blessing that comes directly from the skill. So basically, maybe it's going to apply this here at a percentage. I don't know. I don't know if this is the latest or the finished version of the skill once it's released. But for now, I don't know what a bless with light blessing really means. But we see that it's a 30% crit rate. So overall, this is going to be good on everybody except maybe Ares and Alex. I mean the crit percentage, but the rest is still very good. But still, at the end of the day, this is still quite a situational skill. But because it also do damage, it's still good, right? But if you are fighting, for example, in Alex March, this is useless. Easy, already. We already talked about this quite often. The best first skill for you, if you're a YSS Alex Queen Zenobia March, is going to be Knife Through Butter or Fully Prepare. If you're early season, what you want to do is just wait for one of these 2 skills to be available and go for it. The skills that are going to be available before that are not worth your investment for your March, in my opinion, especially if you only go for 1 or 2 skills. All right, let's go back to the patch note. So this is the new skill, right? If you have any more question on it, just let me know. But it's quite strange. I think there might be more to it when it's released. Because again, this we don't really know everything. At the moment, there's no chance at all. If there's no chance at all, this is extremely strong. We'll see. Now, this is pretty, for the new player, nothing changes really. Now, this is something that we will see how much it's going to affect, but it's for Wheel of Time, Kingdom Supply, and boost items. We'll have to see. Maybe it's going to apply just more properly than it used to, but I don't think it's going to change a lot. Now, this is the second part of the patch, which is very small, as you can see. That is very important. So the most important one is the skill. Second one is the tweak, yeah, sorry, to Athena skill. It's not a buff, it's not a nerf. It could be a little bit of a buff, we'll have to see. Because this is definitely good. But if they really remove this part, the problem with Athena is that the energy that she has is extremely low. It's actually the lowest energy in the game for a tank. And she's a Chaos Immortal. That is really bad. Here you see Charles at 76. ISS, really good, 96. Let's go see a few more tanks. Oh, 55. Actually, I think maybe Elfid is the lowest. We'll have to look. 84. 84. Let's try here. Even this one. 92. Archer even. 84. But then you go to her. Okay, so Elfid is the worst. But Athena at 63 is still very, very low. Now at least the wound is going to be applied automatically as a passive, but you're not going to get the active, which is going to be this now, really, really later on. So it's going to counter Quinn a little bit more. It's going to counter Khan a little bit more, just really a little bit more. But it's going to be a little bit weaker against Alex because you're not going to get to the active part of the skill quick enough, in my opinion, because this is really low. We'll have to see. I am working on her. I'll be able to test and see if it's better or not. All right, so this is it for the patch note this time around. Again, it's really, really small. I'm probably not going to do a video just for the patch note. So if you have any question, you can ask now. You can also ask on Discord for sure. But this patch note is all about skill. It's all about Athena. All right, let's go back here. I'm going to do a player review. Here, I'm going to do this one here that I said I was going to review. Let's take a look. So this one is a Alex YSS Can Matilda. You can see here. There is a Allspec 8. The boosts are decent at max 25. This is still earlier season, right? It's Conquest, so it's not legendary. You cannot get to 35 yet. The dragon seems to be maxed out. Second March, you have a Hippo, Trajan, Wu, and Quinn. Still very early, right? This is a second March, so it's fine. What I'll do in this one here, I'll look at the skill, I'll look at the first March and second March. I'll give my opinion, and then I'll come back to the question right after. So here, one thing for sure, I'm pretty sure the player replaced probably Quinn or Zenobia not too long ago, because the Matilda is still a work in progress, or dust is still low. I definitely need more dust on her, probably for 40 or so if it's on your main team. Again, this is not too bad. Still working on Matilda. Now here, this is quite a common march with Energy Mastery, Corrosive Power, Fighting Master on Khan. You have a assist, skill, which is very important on your Matilda. Now, this is where you need to be careful. You have Spring of Life here, but you actually don't have a lot of healing. The only healing you have is from Berserk. And is it enough to trigger this often enough? I'm not too sure. We'll have to see. But again, this is Tender with Wind Rage, Knife Through Butter, Assembly Charge. There's no guard. And the reason is it's probably using his Alex as more of a support in this case scenario, which is fine. And you can see the artifact here, however, is not rapid. Definitely need to, at some point, change this to rapid. Rapid is extremely important on Alex. Definitely the best artifact. There's no arguing that, in my opinion. Yes, it can be annoying to keep on crafting Alex artifact, but you definitely need it. Rapid is way stronger on Alex. Here, I do think guard might still be better than the blessing for the energy, even though your Khan is the one carrying. If your Alex die too quickly, you lose the effect of Knife Through Butter. So I think guard might probably still better here. Other than that, this is very good, very strong. I think I would put this to level 7. Energy Mastery, or what you can do as well, if you leave it at 6, I would get Fountain of Life. Fountain of Life will help you with triggering your Spring of Life, and Fountain of Life is also going to help against No Escape. So Fountain of Life is probably your red skill that you want to aim for next. Then let's look at this here. Okay, so this one is very, very much so work in progress. So Fighting Master is not here. It's only Scan, normal. Here, I think I would replace this skill here for Abundant Spirit when you can. This is good. This is decent. Here, again, I would probably replace Resist, and I will come and put the Rage Blessing for energy. Because I'm going to remove it from my main team, and this is going to be very good for your fire team. The rest is good, the rest is fine. Let's take a look at the question. I was thinking about adding Jorn to the main team. No, I think the Ur Dragon is definitely going to be better than any other dragon here. If you do the Lightning Dragon, it would be better if you actually replace your Alex with Jorn. Then the Lightning Dragon would actually be probably better. Otherwise, if you keep Alex, this is better with Ur Dragon. I would keep Alex. You already have Knife Through Butter. The next skill that you need to do at some point would be a Fully Prepare, but you actually don't necessarily need it. I think this is going to be better because you already unlocked a red skill. The problem here is if you replace Alex with Drawing, you're going to lose your red skill here. You're going to have to put it on a second team. So I don't really suggest it. Here, the problem if you do go Jorn to replace your YSS, it's just a little bit better in my opinion. It's not good enough to justify going for Jorn. At that point, I think you might as well go for a Chaos or more red skill instead. Red skill is going to be better in my opinion. And this team is very strong. I can show you in my server. There's a team that is very similar that is doing very well. I just don't remember who it is. 1 second, is it Retribution? Where is he? Here. This one. Oh, he replaced. This was a very similar to yours, but he replaced his Buffet. He had this one here before. It's still very strong. You have here Savage, which is similar, but he has a Anubis. And so to answer your question 1, just quick recap. Don't replace Alex. The Alex already Knife Through Butter, so work on your Alex. If you want to replace YSS with Jarn, it is an option, not the best option. Keep the dragon as it is for now if you don't do double tank. All right, so the skill upgrade here, honestly, in my opinion here, you want to get Fountain of Life, as I mentioned. You might as well replace this one with Guard, as I mentioned. And at some point, you might also want to replace Energy Mastery, Energy Suppression, sorry, for probably Energy Shield. Energy Shield is quite good overall. I really like Energy Skill as skill. It might be better here. Also, what is going to be good about Fountain of Life for you, even at level 4, 5, it's going to help your Matilda survive with Assist on her. All right, let me go to the questions now. So, what is the best Chaos Immortal in Open Arena? It depends a lot on the Immortal that are banned and the skill that are banned, but honestly, overall, Poseidon is probably one of the best Chaos Immortal to use. Another one that is good is Fufei, but Fufei can be countered by anti-healing. Now, I noticed too late because I was a little bit too busy today. But you see here, Quinn and Khan are actually banned. So I do think in this season, if I had knew in time, I would probably went with Fufei. I think Fufei would have been very strong in this season because she's not going to be countered by Quinn or Khan. So this is one of the opportunity you can go with Fufei. Otherwise, I think Poseidon is just stronger. There's a lot of shielding in open arena. Poseidon is going to cancel that. Poseidon damage is ridiculous as well, and you get a carry Chaos Immortal. So Poseidon is extremely good in open arena. When it could come to synergy for skills, you really have to look at what they do, what they need to become even better than they are, or sometimes you need to look at the crit chance. I can give you very good example. So this one here, you can look 30%, 50% chance. Now, 50% chance is low as in general. 50% overall is not enough. Now, because it's every time you heal, a lot of the healer has multiple healing opportunity. Example, Zenobia, you put Berserk on her, you can put Soul Synergy, you can put Vitality Touch. So that 50% is okay. Now, the problem is this only triggers when you heal. Now, if you don't heal, this doesn't trigger. So this skill, which is very simple, can be very strong, is actually not going to apply all that often, which is why this is actually not the best skill. It's also why it's a free to play skill. This skill is free to unlock, free to max, but not the best. This is actually way better if you have at least 2 carry in your team, so hybrid team. But then you look at a skill like Energy Shield, you see that every 6 seconds, the chance is 70%, very high, 3 random friendly units. No matter what, you're going to get at least 1 or 2 immortal that you want to protect. And then the absorption rate is quite good. And this lasts 3 seconds. Doesn't matter that only lasts 3 seconds. You're going to take more damage than that. So you're going to get the full value of this pretty much every time. So this is very, very good. And when it comes to synergy, you just have to read the skill and know how they work. You can always ask on the Discord. It takes some time for sure. Yes, anyone can join the Discord, guys. I will send you the invite. Give me 1 second. I would put it in the channel right here. There you go. Battle chess. I don't really play battle chess, guys. I don't. It's just so different than Infinity Kingdom. I don't play it. All I do in the battle chess is I claim the free chess. So basically, every season you can claim a chess for free, and I claim this one here. I really don't play battle chess, so I cannot give you good information on it. Um, but a lot of the reward that you can get are from just playing. So if you want some of the resource back, you don't actually have to win. Like play. You get few resource pack, but I don't need it, so I don't really enjoy playing battle chess. Sorry. So for Open Arena, Loki is not the best in Open Arena. Reason is Loki is way too heavily countered by Fufei. So as soon as a Fufei is present in Open Arena, your Loki is gonna get destroyed for sure. Two, if you go with Loki as a carry, the problem with Loki is there's no red skill, right? Loki and I would say every backline carry are so much stronger with red skill than they are without red skill. If you look at some of the skill here, yes, you can put this on Loki, and the best other option would probably be with this here. But then you need to put the fighting master on Loki as well, and then the damage output is not going to be as strong as Poseidon with something like corrosive power, blade dodge, or maybe unyielding. The output damage of Poseidon is stronger in open arena than Loki. I've seen a few Loki ranked in top 100, but I would say the past 10 open arena season, I haven't seen a Loki rank in the top 10. I've seen Fufei rank in the top 10 still, but not Loki. Wukong, not the best. Again, the reason is Poseidon is extremely strong in open arena. Poseidon counters Wukong a little bit, so not a good pick. And then Athena, the problem is you have a tank as your main Chaos Immortal, which is technically supposed to be your strongest Immortal in Open Arena, but you don't really want a tank to be your strongest Immortal in Open Arena. So that's why Athena is not that used. Even though, like right now, Athena is definitely absolutely garbage because Quinn and Khan are banned. But even if they were not banned, and they're very much most of the most popular immortal in Open Arena, it's still not enough to justify bringing a tank as your Chaos Immortal. Is getting Shadow Immortal artifact from the Wish Shop a good way? It is nowadays because Sparks of Galaxy is no longer available. It really depends on how much you have, right? If you have a lot of leftover because you're hunting for red skill a lot, then yes, you might as well do this. I've been reforging a lot of artifact because I have too much Cinder. I'm trying to get almost perfect artifact, but I'm quite stingy when it comes to spending this, even though I have a lot. We never know. Maybe we're going to get a new skill, hopefully, sometime. So I'm keeping it. And if I have, example, a Himiko like this, I'm more than happy. Like the dodge rate here, I could try and replace it with something else, but I already have the crit at 7%, which is okay-ish. I have the magical bonus at 4, and then the magical defense as well. At this point, I don't think it's worth trying to keep reforging to get better. But I could get better. Right? I could get plus 10 on crit and plus 7, 8 on magical attack bonus as well. And instead of magical defense, I could get resilience or maybe physical defense. It's not worth it in my opinion. Can I review your open arena team? Yeah, sure. If you share it on the Discord, I can review it. Just share it here, and either you can share it in general because we're on stream. It's going to be easier. You can send it here, and I'll review. You can share my Open Arena team real quick again. So right now, again, I'm trying things out because it's too repetitive. I'm really trying to see how Matilda is going to work. Main reason is a lot of the player in my server are currently using Matilda. I like her. I have a lot of the boxes here. I could probably max my Matilda if I wanted to. So it is something that I'm currently considering at some point, maybe doing Matilda. She is also already 6-star, so I can definitely max her. Still debating because I have a lot of support. I don't think I need more. I have Fu Fei. I have Quinn, which is also pretty high. I have Zenobia, not too high, but still. I have a Theodora, which is quite high, just not on dust. At this point, I already have too many support, which is why I'm holding on before going for Matilda. And I do want to test this Wind March with Fu Fei and Quinn here. Not quite there. As you can see, I have fully prepared level 2 and knife through butter level 5. Once this is level 5, I will try it. My Athena also needs a better artifact. I am extremely unlucky on artifact. It's crazy. I'm sure I'm not the only one. You guys are probably very unlucky as well. But I've done quite a few Athena non-crit. You can see how many times I had to do my YSS. My Alex is actually ridiculous how many times I had to do it. I have a max one here. I resetted this one, but this one can be maxed as well. So yeah, this one is useless. And so yeah, I have a good artifact for my Anibal ready. I really want to test this March. I'm eager to see how much it performs, but I still need Athena to be a little bit stronger. I need my fully prepared to be a little bit higher. My dragon is also, I would say, okay-ish. This is not maxed out, but it's maxed out on the 10-10 here. The nods are only level 1 for most of them. I have some of them, the resilience at level 2 now. I have not maxed my damage dealt. They're level 4 or 3. My accuracy, my resilience is only level 2. My accuracy is only level 1. But I don't really need it. And then the dust on my win is still quite low at 24. I'm going to get 6K very soon from Open Arena. From Arena, sorry. So I will see. I'll give you updates on how it works. But this March is a little bit harder to do, which is why I wanted to try it. All right, let me look at the general chat. We can take a look here at Open Arena. All right, so you are doing a But here, when you see the skill that are banned, what you need to be careful this season for you is the Spring of Life. Because Spring of Life is going to be banned for the rest of the season. And Spring of Life, some teams really benefit from it, especially if you have a healer. You went with Oli. I think I would have went with Shadow. The reason is Shadow would have been probably better because you have Jorn that is not banned, and you also have Tomiris that is not banned. You can place Jorn, Tomiris, and Poseidon, and then you can do something like Lightning and go Cow Cow. It would have been very strong, for sure. But let's take a look at what you did. You see, you went. Where's your Oli team? I don't see your Oli team here, but this is definitely not something that you want to do. The Chaos Immortal, which is your Poseidon, you want everything to be support to Poseidon. You don't want anybody else to damage, basically. The reason is simple. The Chaos Immortal is the one that's going to be the main damage dealer for your whole team in Open Arena. It's the one that you need to support the most. So here, Caesar is fine. You can keep him. Theo as well, but you need to do something else here. What are the immortal that you have? You went Earth and Fire. Uh, uh, you can do maybe you don't want to do double healer because when you look at this here, Khan is available. Quinn is not, but Khan is available. Khan would counter you way too hard. You can do Cyrus here instead of Siondiok. You're not gonna get a lot of out of him, but Cyrus would be better than Siondiok for sure. And what you want to do on your Poseidon is instead of going with the Blade Dodge, you want to go with Unyielding. You're gonna get some crit out of him. It's gonna be way stronger in my opinion. And then for your fire, you can just do Wu and Sion instead. I don't see your skill for your holy though. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so see here, this is fine. This is okay. I would probably replace Vitality's Touch with something like Energy Suppression, the Rage Blessing. This is fine. Here you need guard. You definitely need guard. You need to protect your Poseidon. Here, let me show in game. Here, this is fine on your side. You want Unyielding, but you want something like this on your tank. You definitely need guard for sure. You need to protect your Poseidon. The reason you do physical shield is because you're gonna fight Poseidon a lot, and you want your tank with guard to survive Poseidon. This is just very good only in open arena. Don't do this anywhere else. Um, and again, only in open arena. But this is decent. It's gonna match well with guard because you're gonna force people to transfer some damage. So here, this is decent. You can always replace this with something like Enora if you want, but from the past seasons, this is just the best setup on tank. Then on your Theodora, I would do something like Energy Suppression. And on your Cyrus, you want something like Rage Blessing. You can do Oaken Guard as well. But because you're going to go with Cyrus, you can either do Weakness or Coercion is still fine if you want to keep your weakness for your fire team, which is also okay. But don't do Sion Diog. It's not going to work well for you. You only want the damage to go on your Poseidon. Try it out. You have different lineup, right? You have three. Tell me if it works better, but I'm pretty sure it will. Let me look at gems here for. Okay, so you went with Loki. Uh, uh, you're putting your Loki with. Okay. Okay, here, guys, because it's open arena, you really want to use the immortal that are the strongest. You have Shadow and Oli. You went with Shadow because you see here you have Elizabeth, but at the end of the day, you have access to all the dragon. I would probably change my setup on with my Loki to make my Loki a shadow element. I would add the Shadow Dragon. I would keep Jorn. You can keep Toku. James, can you share who is Bam? Okay, you did here. So you went with Wind and Lightning. Wind and Lightning. Mm, 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 mm. You can keep Tokyo. The problem is if you keep Tokyo, you are losing out a little bit on your lightning march. But the most important march is going to be your Loki. So Loki, the dragon needs to be changed to a shadow. Um, this is fine. This is okay. You're gonna need a few more aura though. Here, I would probably do disgrace, unless it's banned. Let me see. It's not banned, so you might want to do this grace here, which is really good. It's an aura, it's called grace. It's going to limit the critical damage. It's very good. Then you might want to change this here and maybe put something like either soul synergy or absolute defense, because you really want your Loki to survive. He's your chaos immortal, and your Matilda right now probably died too quickly. This is fine. Probably change. This is fine. I would keep this here, but definitely make sure it's a shadow element. Then for your other team, here, who is you're a little bit too over the place when it comes to your magic damage dealer. All you do is basically magic damage for the second two team. Um, I think you need to select probably one of the team, make it a little bit more uniform with only win example, and use only one of the two as a damage dealer. Or you can do it with your lightning as well. It depends on which one you want to do it, but one of the backline will have to get assist. No, you're already using assist, but more supportive skills, in my opinion. This double damage dealer doesn't work all that well. I can give you example here. See here, I have double damage dealer, and it doesn't do much. The only damage that this did is pretty much from the dragon and a little bit from the Himiko dead breath. It's not, doesn't work all that well. This is another open arena. Okay, so this is the same. If you guys want me to review a few more of your open arena, you can always let me know. Usually finish top 20, I would say, but I don't really gem usually, only on first day, or because on first day I want to place well, that people attack me for 3 points the next day. But yeah, it really depends on your season. As you can see, it's different every time. Oh, it's gonna be reset soon. Let me just see if I think I used it. Need to use this here. I need to working on my Athena. Now I'm eager to see if the change on the patch is going to be better or not, but I'm doubtful. The 200 energy is a big loss. So reset time. Time of breaker today. All right. So here, guys, in elemental domain, as you can see, because the fire is not against crit, fire is probably going to be easier. But I also have a decent team for the shadow, and it's also not a crit, so I can decide between the two. I cannot do this one for sure. My Earth team is a little bit weaker. But I'll probably do the fire. I think the fire is probably going to be easier. Now I need to change a few things because I want to go with weakness. Where's my weakness? Already weakness here. I'm going to change this to Arcana. This is good. Now, again, when you do elemental domain, guys, make sure you change your talents. They work. So I'm going to change. I need this one because it's going to be a physical boss. And then you can also use boost. I'm only going to use the crit to see if it's going to be enough. So I killed him. Pretty easy. I'm just going to do it right now. Oops. All right, so that's done. Now, again, fire, when it's not the buzz that limit crit, it's the easiest for sure if you have enough. Because fire in general is the best team against non-boss. Can try a few here. I don't know if I can beat mayonnaise. Let me see. So he's running a Anubis, Himiko, Quinn, YSS. Anubis is really strong. Now, this is something I don't recommend, however. If you're going to do a tank chaos model and you only do one or two, limit your tank at 40, I would say. Probably start working on a second chaos model instead, because this is extremely expensive. And if you pay for 50 dust on a chaos model tank, it's quite expensive for a tank. I might be able to beat him. Let's try. I'm going to change my talent to this one because it's a Himiko carry. Yeah, all right. So here, guys, the reason I'm doing fire first and win second is very, very simple. It's because I'm using the dragon to damage the enemy. Like, look here. This is the main team. Did almost no damage, but you're gonna see all the damage came from the dragon or so. See, this is fighting wheel. So fighting wheel did some damage, but all the damage from my dragon. But it's good damage because it went on the Quinn. Then I do the same with the wind dragon. No damage are almost from any of the immortals, but I get 8 million from my dragon. Here, if you look, damage taken, it's all from the dragon, right? So now I start a match with my main team against his main team, and the enemy is also already the Queen half HP. So it gives me a huge advantage, right? Here, if we look at the replay, the Queen's probably gonna die quick, and then assist is no longer protecting the Emiko. Can do this here. Here, my Himiko ulted first. You see Quinn dead already. So now, because Quinn was half HP, the Himiko is no longer protected. So as soon as this happens, it's almost impossible that I lose. So this is why I put the fire and the wind dragon first. Even if I'm going to lose, it doesn't matter. I just want to brittle down with the dragon. I'm gonna go back here. me see here. I have a few questions. Can you please explain to us KVK roles, craftsman, fighting master, and alchemist? Yes, of course I can. I actually have, I think, an account for each on this one. So here, when you look at the contract, I need to go into KVK. Give me 1 second, I can do that. I'm going to recall my troops, and I'm going to go into the Legion of Frostborn map. I'm going to show you for fighting master. I can show you with this account for master craftsman, and I can do the same for alchemist on the other account. Let me just recall my troops. Second, I'm going to recall the troops here as well, so I can enter the map. All right. While my troops are being recalled, let me look at the next question. Server 493 is still in early stage. I'm using Water Team, Merlin, Arad, Atilda, and Dido. It's not the worst team, but it's also not the best. So this player here, a really early season, server 493 is using Merlin, Arad, Attila, and Dido. The reason I say it's not the best is Merlin is a very strong mage. But the only way to really make mage, I would say, game busted compared to Alex with gold skill very strong is with red skill. So at one point, if you want to make your Merlin extremely strong, you're going to need to get corrosive power and energy mastery. If you don't get these skill, the reality is Merlin is not going to be as strong as Alex with gold skill, for sure. Two, the second reason is on the Merlin, you need to put fighting master on it. So you only have 2 damage skill. But Alex already is immune to crowd control. So as a low spender free to play, Alex is a better carry than Merlin. Then you also have Attila, which is very much so nerfed for long ago, and he is not a meta champion anymore. Attila is extremely weak at the moment. So you have a very strong tank in Erad. Erad actually no, in Trajan. Ragnar, sorry. But what is nice about Erad is the artifact. The artifact is going to help Merlin. So you can keep Erad and do as soon as you can. Where is my Ragnar? Ragnar. And then you can keep Ditto. The problem with Ditto is, again, not the best. I personally think you should go Quinn instead. But early game, it's still decent. If you are a very low spender, I think you should gravitate towards a Alex March. Personally, I think it's going to be stronger down the line. If you want to keep a Water March, make sure that in the Golden Path, this guy here is going to be the first immortal you get in the Golden Path. He will be absolutely necessary for your Water team. Whereas Ditto can be replaced with Quinn. All right, so my troops has been recalled. Let me go to Legion. All right, so Fighting Master, this is a talent that I have at the moment. First, when it comes to the contract that you select for KVK, you have different type of mission that you can do to gain points. These points are going to give you these coins. You can only get 1,000 a day. It reset every day, so you can get quite a few over time during KVK. For Fighting Master, you can trade honor or fight to get honor. You can kill garrison when you attack city, and you can also attack the wall. So this is the easiest one, the wall destruction. You can farm easily as a Fighting Master to get this almost every day once the city are unlocked. Then you have the talents. all about fighting. This one, marching speed. This one is going to be increasing your attack damage. Troop defense, you're going to be able to get less dead on the battlefield. Critical damage reduction. This one is for the damage dealt from Immortal, and this one is for the rally. So rally leader is going to get 5% damage dealt to the enemy when you rally. All right, you need to be the rally leader. Now, this really depends on your KVK and what you're going to do in KVK. Right now, this is our KVK. We have 136, we have 137 and 38. This is not 38 main alliance. It is main alliance for 136. But so far, we've been able to negotiate, and we're probably going to be friendly with 136. And we're going to fight elsewhere. We're going to see. So if I end up fighting a lot, I'm going to put skills into this. But if we're not fighting, I'm actually probably not going to do any skill because it costs gold. I just might as well keep my gold if we're not fighting and just farm for the points. When you look at the KVK shop, you have a section here, and this is what you get for this here is what you get for farming the points. So basically, the only thing you can get is Shadow and Holy Artifact. When you look, if you want to get a full one, you need to get 30K. 30K is a lot. This season is going to last 32 days. It's already been 1 day, so 31 day, 30 plus 1 plus 1, 32 days. You would need to farm 1K almost every day to get one full Shadow and Holy Artifact. I don't really waste my time on farming because it's not worth it for me. I already have my artifact for my Shadow and Holy, but somebody that does not have it, it's a free artifact, right? So this is the one for Fighting Master. It's the best one if you're planning on fighting, for sure. It's only going to give you boosted stats for your march on the battlefield. Now, let's take a look at Master Craftsman. I'm pretty sure that's what I went on this account. All right, so this is the Master Craftsman one. What is important to know is this one actually costs resources from your own resource. So if you're planning on going Master Craftsman, be careful early game. If you need a resource to upgrade your building, this one here might not be the best for you. Again, you use your own resource. So be careful. If you are very early game, free to play, you're in a rather active alliance, and you don't want to use your resource for contracts, you don't want to be a fighter because you're still evolving, increasing your power, go Alchemist, because this one, again, own resource. When it comes to the buff, this one is very good, however, because it's going to increase your gathering speed by 50% on the KVK map. So this is very good if you want to farm. What a few players do is they are going to get Master Craftsman when it's a very low activity KVK, and they're actually not going to craft all that much. They're going to focus on gathering and increasing their building. They can also use this one when they're in a dead KVK, dead server, to gather a lot of resources and then donate those resources to cities here once this is unlocked and occupied. And what this will do is it's going to generate a lot of Alliance coin, which you're going to be able to buy your portals from. So this is one way to farm portals if you are looking to migrate. Now, when it comes to Master Craftsman, what is important as well is it's all about transmuting quicker and gathering quicker, right? So here, you're gonna, the Altar Stone is gonna go faster, 50%. Level 2 faster military equipment. This is something for the fighters to use when you look at. Is there an enemy somewhere? I don't think we have any enemy right now. But basically, when you fight a not a mob, but a player, you have a tome, which is this one here, that is going to give you a boost. This is something that the master craftsman can craft. If you're not fighting, it's useless, honestly. Then again, it's about speed, and this one is about using less. I know this one is also the boost for the contract gold. So basically, you get more points for this here. The way you get points is by crafting. Master Craftsman, very useful if you want to gather portals. Very useful if you're maxed out on buildings. It's the easiest one in my opinion. And then you have Alchemist, which is the best one if you're still evolving, if you're still working on your account. So this is going to be a good example. Let's go to QVK. Another QVK. This one is a different one. Here. This is the Alchemist one. The only way you get points is by crafting Altar Stone. This one here. You have 3 level. You need to unlock these talents to go to the next ones. So the first talent is going to manufacture them quicker. This one is going to be the attack of the altar. R6 and 5 are going to be able to spawn this altar to finish the cities. This is the speed. This is the prosperity when they attack the other territories. This one is going to be the time they exist, so they're going to last longer. This one is the range. This one is extremely important because the range is very, very small at the start. And then this one is to craft level 3. This one I would say is the easiest, honestly, if you are still building. Let me just do this. This is the other way to get coins, alliance coins, by the way. So for the portals. All right, let me go back here. So the player with the win the water march. Yes, if you already have Alex somewhere, I would definitely move away from my water team. I would probably do Alex. You can keep Merlin for now. It's fine. You can even keep Attila for now. Dido, it's fine. What I really suggest is the best free-to-play team low spender is Alex, YSS, Zenobia, Quinn. You can also use Cleo if you want at the moment. You can also use Leonidas at the moment if you want. Early game, it's fine. Oh, let me just send gatherers. I'm going to review another player. If you have more questions, you can let me know. All right, let me take a look at here. So this one we did. Let's go to the last one for now. So this is not gonna really work, honestly, if you put it in a tank, because of battle stance is not gonna, like the damage is not really gonna work. Attack and defense is not a good skill, as I mentioned earlier. This was actually made for Anubis. It's when Anubis was released, but you don't use Anubis for damage. You use it for the damage boost. So this skill was never really meta. And I don't think it's ever going to be meta unless they rework the percentage and the damage. We'll see if they do it. Now, this is extremely good skill, but I wouldn't do something like this, honestly. On a Caesar, I don't think it's going to work. All right, so here, guys, the player is using an Alex Himiko, only one red skill at the moment. Yes, corrosive power would be a good get. And again, corrosive power is actually quite cheap when you look at it nowadays. Um, Easier to get, cheap, maybe not, but easier to get for sure. And because you only need to unlock it once and then you max it with Soul Crystal, you're going to get to level 8 very quickly on corrosive power. Your Himiko is going to be extremely strong, especially if you put your energy mastery to level 5 or 6 at least. And then you're going to have a very good team. Now, my recommendation to you is unless you get at least knife through butter on your Alex, then yes, if you don't, Bjorn or even Ragnar would be stronger for you. But if you do get knife through butter on your Alex, then Alex would be better than double tank. This is how you need to see it. Alex, extremely strong, but with a Himiko with red skill, double tank is better if Alex has no red skill. This is very similar to what I'm using. I use double tank at the moment, but I do have the option to use Alex with knife through butter level 5. I've tested it, and honestly, even with knife through butter level 5, I feel like my double tank March is better. Let's move to this one here. Sorema. This is still quite new. Dust 40. Chemical 40. Okay. Boost 25 dragon. All right, let's take a look. All right, so this is only season 2. There's no red skill here yet. Let me look at the question before I answer this one. Two carry team. Two carry team can work. It's a little bit less strong in my opinion. All right, so this is where I think you need to focus. If you're a low to mid spender, you really have 2 options here. Option number 1 is to make one of the 2 a support and give the other one, which is going to be your main damage carry, 1 or 2 red skill, right? I'll give you option number 1. You keep this as it is, and you're going to come and put energy mastery and corrosive power on your Himiko. Your Himiko is going to become your main carry. On your Alex, you're going to want to do something a little bit simpler. Assembly charge is going to be needed, and you can keep this skill a dual master if you want. The best setup would be assembly charge and wind rage. You will get some damage out of it. You can move to a double tank if you want, and you would get away with only 1 red skill and corrosive power. You're going to have a very good team. This is for the low spender. If you want to take it further, you can then get knife through butter on your Alex. As soon as you get 1 or 2 red skill on your carry, on your Himiko has to be in the main carry unless you get another red skill on your Alex. However, if you do get the red skill on your Himiko, I would change Zenobia to Quinn, like this here. And this is a good example. Because of what I'm fighting in TOS, because of what I'm fighting in Open Arena, I switched back to Quinn on my main at the moment. Even though I have a Athena that is maxed out on specialization, has a decent artifact, 30 dust, my Athena is way stronger than my Quinn, right? 230, 224. She is a Chaos Immortal. But the reality is, because I'm fighting a lot of other Quinn and Khan, at the moment in TOS and in my arena, Quinn is giving me more value. This is crazy, right? But still, it's giving me more value. And it's a little bit of the same when you consider Zenobia or Quinn. When you have a Himiko carry, Quinn is going to give you more value almost all the time, especially if it's double tank. Even with Alex, I still think Quinn is going to be better. So here, to answer your question, select one of the two, and whoever you select, get 1 or 2 red skill for that team. Make the other one a support. So example, if you do Alex, Knife Through Butter, Fully Prepare, your Himiko would become a support here. You would do something like Fighting Master, Energy Shield, Purification. That would be okay. If you have any more questions, Rema, just let me know. Let me take a look at the question. Yes, you can send your IB team. Just send it on in the Discord channel. Oh, okay, I think this is it. No, this is main team. Oh, IB team, sorry, IB team. So IBL team. Let me see. For IBL team, I think Chan is probably going to be better than Quinn. The reason is you need a lot of damage in IB. You want to really go quickly on damage. I think I would probably put Khan here. And Alex, this well is the best setup for normal setup. So Arena, TOS, KVK. It's actually not the best setup for IBL. You can put a Blade Vortex, Executioner, and maybe even Demonic Contract or Assembly Charge as well. But this is not the best setup for IBL. This is probably overdoing it on healing because you're going to fight a lot of Quinn and Khan. I would probably remove at least one of the two because now your Zenobia is too heavily focused on healing here for IBL. But if you do change this, it would be better. And by the way, one of the reasons why this is not the best, remember, you don't have Artifact in IBL. So your Alex is not going to be immune to crowd control all the time. Let me see here. Let's do this one. Is it done? Actually, I already did this one. Let's do Jasper. So season 2, low spender. Dust here. All right, so here, same thing, guys. You really need to start focusing on your carries. So your Alex needs to be pushed way higher as soon as you can. Then your Gilgamesh, if you keep this March. This is quite a nice March. Definitely uncommon, but still nice. I like Caesar. I like Gilgamesh. Let's take a look here. Does Brian have good synergy with my current lineup, or will I come with action? Yes, John would work very well. It would be an upgrade from Caesar for sure. If you do get one Olier Shadow, I think you have two options. Jordan would be a good option to replace Caesar, or Theodora could be a good option to replace either Quinn or Gilgamesh. But Jordan is a good option. Let me take a look. Let's take a look here. Okay. All right, so let's go back here. Let me just switch. So first on your Alex, because he is your main carry, right? He is also at the moment the one with the most dust at 35. You don't want to put Berserk, which is an aura that would benefit everybody, on him. You want to move it to a support, or maybe even your Gilgamesh. Let me take a look. I would move it to my Caesar. I would remove the defense blessing, and I would put the Berserk skill, the aura, on my Julius. Now, this blessing here is not going to work for your Alex, right? Because your Alex artifact makes the skill a passive. So this is, whoops, sorry. So this one is useless for your Alex. It's good for your Gilgamesh, however. But there's a little bit of divided focus here, which I'm not a fan. So replace this one with Berserk. I'd probably remove this one and put maybe Oakengard. But definitely remove both. Now, physical shield is okay. It's going to be even better if you get guard down the line for protection on your Alex. You already have Oakengard. Now, Quinn here, the skills are okay. This is still okay for now. I am not a fan of Shelter. I think you need to remove Shelter at some point, but it's already level 7. You can keep it for now. The problem with Shelter, I mentioned it a few times, as soon as you fight a Quinn or a Khan, this skill becomes absolutely useless. Now here you see the Cleave. You're going to put it on your Alex. You're going to put Cleave in place of Berserk that we removed just now. And again, Cleave is not even going to be good on a Gilgamesh. It's going to be way better on your Alex anyway. Blade Vortex, extremely good for your Gilgamesh. This here, not the best skill. Now, you also don't have any crit. You're going to need to look at your report and see if you actually crit at all. If you don't crit at all, you need to remove it as well. Here, you can put Anger. I know that you have it on your Alex, but Anger here would be a little bit better. You can do Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush is going to be extremely good. And down the line, you can also get Executioner for your Gilgamesh. You're going to need Assembly Charge from KVK at some point for your Alex for sure. You're going to need No Escape to put on your Quinn or your Caesar. If you keep your Gilgamesh and you keep working on him, I would get Executioner for him as well. This is probably the best 3 skill, and also Guard for your Caesar / Bjorn. So you still have quite a few skills that you can do for upgrade. Right now, the biggest mistake, I think it's your setup here that is a little bit lacking for your Caesar. This is not good enough for Alex. This is okay-ish, but you need to replace it with Berserk because your Berserk should not be on your Alex. I think this is the biggest mistake at the moment. The rest is fine. If you have any more questions, let me know in the chat. Guys, always happy to review once you made the change. Let's take a look at this one here. A fire team. All right, rule number 1, guys. When you have a carry for PvP, you need Fighting Master for sure. Now, this is perfectly fine when you fight gnomes, gnome boss, anything that is not PvP, basically. Because right now with this setup, when your Wu gets stunned, most of your damage is gone. So when you are doing Arena, KVK, replace Annihilation with Fighting Master. This is fine on your Quinn. This is okay on your Trajan. Now, Trajan is already quite tanky. He's a tank. I don't know if you need both of these support / defense skill on him. And I don't like this one that much because you're probably going to fight more Alex than anything. I would probably replace these 2. This one can come on your Hippo instead, and Okengor can go on your Trajan instead, because this is a grace, only lasts 18 seconds. You don't need to put that on your Hippo, put it on your Trajan. Cleave, again, not the best on Hippo. If you have other option, I would replace Cleave for sure. I would put Life Link here, Oaken instead. If you have Physical Shield, probably Physical Shield on your Hippo. Maybe Adrenaline Rush on your Hippo, and then something else on your Trajan to replace this one. Adrenaline Rush is quite good on Hippo. Anger Assault can work. Fighting Whale would be extremely good on Hippo. Um, Again, the store for damage is your Woo. Let me see here. Which one do you mean? Oh, it's fine, guys. I can switch, but let me know which one, guys. It's fine. You sent 3 teams. Oh, you mean here for your IBL team? Let me take a look. Okay, so basically I have 3 set up. Okay, I understand. This one is better than the first one for sure. I like this one a lot more. But again, this one is not the best setup. Put the Blade Vortex, Executioner. You can keep Assembly's Charge or maybe even put Demonic Contract. The reason is no artifact. This setup is not going to work as well as you think or as well as in game. This one is also a decent fire team. I've seen it quite often. You don't want this on your Hippo, however. This doesn't really work well with Hippo. You probably want something like the Surge, the Energy, a Rage Blessing, which is probably better than this. And in this team, you definitely need weakness. It's a fire team. It relies on crit. I would do weakness. Also, this skill on Wu is not the best because the reason number one is Abundant Spirit is actually not going to boost anything but your magical damage, right? This would be the same as putting concentration. There's no trigger that Abundant Spirit is increasing at the moment. There's no trigger skill here. So instead, if you want to do Psionic Tide would be better. Even Disintegrator, Spell Disintegrator would be better. You need Fighting Master. Corrosive Power is fine. But I would replace Abundant Spirit. This is fine. This is fine. Now, resist, it depends on what you're fighting. You might need to in-game change it, depending on if you're fighting an Alex Khan or if you're fighting a Wu fire team. What you can do instead is something like, it's the same thing with Guard, by the way. You can do the War Blessing instead, but again, this is fine. It just depends who you're fighting. The problem when you put both Oken and Resist in IBL is it's hard for you to switch on and off during the battle. It is easier in game than IBL. Let me know if you have any question regarding this here for IBL. My team in IBL is either something similar to this one, but with the change that I told you on Alex. It's a very common one. Or I also actually do a win team with Saladin and Archer, Khan, and Matilda, or sometimes even Quinn. The win team is actually very strong in IBL, and Lightning is actually also very strong in IBL. Right. This is me, so I'm not gonna hit myself. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. I'll keep the stream up for around 15-20 minutes still. I can still do a few more review while we're at it. So here we have a Theo Himiko Bjorn YSS. I really like this team. I was going with this before going Fufei, before Sparks of Galaxy gone. Now it's extremely expensive, however. You have 3 Olean Shadow. You have 3 Olean Shadow artifact that you need to work on. You have a lot of Rune Factory that needs to go into your Shadow. In the Holy Immortals, you have a lot from the seasonal event that has to go into this. Problem is with Spark of Galaxy, this team is, I don't know, maybe even as expensive as getting 1 Chaos. It's really expensive nowadays. But this is really good. I really like it. I do prefer Energy Mastery, however. At some point, I think Energy Mastery would be better than Corrosive Power or Infinite Firepower. This is still decent. Your next skill, I think, is still going to be Energy Mastery. Energy Mastery is just too good on Spellcaster at the moment. You could also go with Fountain of Life at some point, which would be good. Life Protection down the line. But if you only get 1 more skill, it's going to be Energy Mastery. Now, the rest is okay. Now, this is also something you need to be careful. You don't have any Athena. So this is really, really doubling down on healing. If your healing is cancelled by a Queen or a Khan, you have Teo skill that is countered. You have Purification and Vitality's Touch. So your Teo only provide the specialization and assist. I think here you might need to replace one of the two. Absolute Defense could be an option. A Aura could be an option. The reason is, again, don't double down too much on healing. Here, this is good. This is okay because you have a crit artifact. Art of Arcana from the bundle, from the paid bundle here, from this one here, would be very good. Yeah, Art of Arcana. It could go on your Teo and would be very good for you. I'm using it on my main team. It's on my Charm. It's on my Quinn. It's on my Quinn. I really like the skill for Himiko carry and low-key carry. It's very good. Then this Jade Barrier is actually quite underwhelming. I have it. I almost never use it. I use it when I know the enemy is a low-key with infinite firepower almost max, because then it's pretty good. But when you look at Jade Barrier, the problem is, first, the chance is extremely low. You have only 30% chance. So if it's not against infinite firepower that always goes off, this is not super good. It's not going to happen a lot. 2, the magical defense reduction, the magical damage reduction, sorry, is only applied to whoever is holding the skill. And as you can see on your setup, that's your YSS, which is a tank. The resilience on the tank is already higher, probably high enough. You're doubling down with more magical magical damage reduction on your YSS. Yes, you get a shield for everybody else, but again, only really works against this skill. So this is more situational in my opinion. The rest is good. The rest is fine. You also did very well when it comes to your artifact. You focus on your Himiko, even though these are still very early. Your Himiko is maxed out on these stars, which is really good, important. You need to put that to level 15 and then focus on the upgrade to gold. So this is a very good team for sure. Don't bother with doing the Holy Dragon, by the way. It's too expensive. You're better off getting red skill instead, for sure. For a Wu March, the next, you already have infinite firepower, and you're asking me which is the best next red skill for her? I think with Wu, you're going to be really good with infinite firepower, fighting master, and abundant spirit. So I don't think you actually need to go for energy mastery. It's one of the only exception. It's with a woo. What you can do if you get one more red skill instead, I'm assuming you don't have an Alex in this March, so it's probably going to be Fountain of Life. Fountain of Life is going to counter the No Escape skill, is going to be overall very good. It's going to provide some healing on your fire team, which you're probably very limited on when it comes to healing on a fire team. So this is probably the next get. The other option would be Life Protection. Life Protection is extremely good as well because it's going to help your support. Now, the problem with Life Protection on a fire team is you probably don't have healing. So this is not going to matter much. If you get Life Protection and Fountain of Life, then you're going to have a very strong support protecting your Woo. So this is definitely a good option. I did a Woo video, by the way, and also a Ninetale video, and I think Ninetale and Woo works very well together if you're planning on getting a Chaos Immortal. All right, let's do one more while you guys can send question, by the way. Always good. So Castle 40, so very early. So this is a win team. I don't know if I did this one. I'm gonna do it again. I think I did. I think I did in a video, but I'm gonna do it again while you guys are here because this is actually very important. The Wind Dragon is not a dragon. You can look at the player review 10 and 11 video I did. But the Wind Dragon is always a side project. Look at my account. I've been playing for a very long time. Right now, I mean, I stopped at a point, but I had to take a break. But here, 800-day consecutive. I'm very like this right now is server 277, but I actually started in server 9. So to give you an idea, one of the first servers, and look at my Wind Dragon. Even if I've been at it for a very long time, it's still only 25 dust. It's still only level 1 on multiple nodes. Like level 1 on this one here, level 1 on this one, a lot of level 1, a few level 2, not a lot of level 3. I cannot max these. And I have to wait basically 30 days to come and get this. It's almost useless to go for this one because look at how much it's going to cost me. I'm only going to get 3,000 for all this currency. It's not worth it. I might as well just wait to go for this one every season. It's going to take a very long time for your Wind Dragon to be stronger than any other dragon you can form. So here, even if you have a lot of Wind Immortal, put a Earth Dragon, keep your Wind Dragon in second or third team, just work on it slowly. Now, other than that, this is a good setup. I like the assist. I like the setup on Himiko. This is fine on your Hannibal. However, Dual Master, you're not getting a lot of healing, only from Berserk. So here, probably change that to combo at some point. Archer, very low tier immortal. However, probably want to change your Archer to something else down the line. Dondo Toyotomi, not good. You probably want to go to a golden path immortal such as YSS or maybe Charles from the market. Jade Barrier is not a good skill in open arena. The reason is, again, Jade Barrier really only works or is maximum value against infinite firepower. In open arena, you don't have infinite firepower. You don't have red skill. So Jade Barrier is not a good skill. 2, a lot of players running Poseidon as their main carry. Poseidon is physical. Jade Barrier is not going to do anything against him. In IBL, also not the best because of the same thing. There's no infinite firepower. Yes, there's spell disintegrator. Yes, if you fight a Woo with spell disintegrator in Abundant Spirit, Jade Barrier would actually do well in IBL, but this is very situational. It has to be against a Wu with infinite firepower and spell disintegrator. Otherwise, your Jade Barrier is not going to get you value. So I don't recommend Jade Barrier in IBL neither. The only reason I have unlocked it, honestly, it's because when I was playing early season, Jade Barrier was a skill that was available here. Is it available here? I think it was. Or maybe one of the first few skills and I went for it. But there's a lot of skill that I regret now that I know how poorly they do. Example, Siren Gaze. I don't like it. I never did weakness protection. I don't think it's a very good skill. Can be used in open arena a little bit. Not the best skill neither. Let me take a look. I'll show you my KVK at the moment. So we have 136, 137, both in Ember. Definitely the strongest faction by far, because 136 is just a monster. And then this is 38 in Hydro, but 38 second alliance, right? And then we are in Terra. I would say in this KVK we're probably the second strongest. 137 is not too far, but we have quite a few strong players as well in 277. But at the moment, we have a truce with 136. We're going to have a few places that we're going to fight nonstop, CD everything to keep it fun. But at the moment, Words is going to be a rather peaceful KVK on our side. Basically, we are here. 136 is here. With 137, we are going to focus here with splitting, and we're probably going to fight here or here. We'll see. But we're going to probably have an agreement for middle. Still to be determined, still to be confirmed. But yeah, at the moment, 277 cannot handle 136 by themselves for sure. 136 is still way too strong for us at the moment. They have a lot of strong player, right? With maxed out March. We have a one mega monster here. GM Still, really nice guy. But then, as you can see, we dropped in the ranking, right? And what happens with 277? Our free to play has probably around 600 days less played than example 38. Probably 500 to 600 days less than 136. So our free to play still has to catch up. Now you also ask for SF and MPK. I will have to take a look. I know there's a few KVK this season that are not very good when it comes to matchup. So here, if you look at this one, as you mentioned, for sure, if people decide to fight, Terra is going to win for sure. I don't know the situation, right? But it would make sense for these two to fight each other. In my opinion, they should ally for sure in the same faction. And if they do ally, there's no one else that can really fight them here. This is not the main alliance of 209. It's their farm alliance. 45 is no longer as strong as it was. A lot of players left. And this one, same. A lot of players left to 38. Athena was there. Big Mac, but they left to 38. These players cannot handle. So this is pretty free in my opinion. This is where I am. 38. This is the main alliance of 38. There's no way they're going to be challenged given this KVK. The only server that can challenge 38 at the moment is 136 and 231. 209 maybe a little bit. 73 maybe a little bit, but 38 are way too strong and they don't have any opponent in this KVK at all. This one actually going to be fun for them. I think if they fight 56 and 73 can have a lot of fun fighting each other. Or they can make it peaceful if they want, but this could be actually very fun for them. I think it's a decent KVK when it comes to power wise for these two. 88 has a few strong player, but definitely way weaker. But they're with 56, which is fine because they're against 73. In my opinion, when I look at the map, this is probably one of my favorite KVK matchup. Really nice, probably really fun. There was a few other one that. Oops. So this one here, this is the kind of matchup that makes no sense to me. The NG, they are at 1 million power. The closest one is going to be this alliance at 825, but there's nobody else really. 52 a little bit, but here if 52 was in red, maybe it would have been the OK KVK fighting like blue fighting red. But I think this is overwhelming, probably easy win for blue. I don't think 159 can challenge blue too much, but we'll see. But then after that, I think they're all dead KVK. Well, this one is not dead for sure. This one is going to be a challenge. But the problem with this one, 136, is this is not their main alliance. They split, so there's still a very strong alliance, but the main fighter is in our KVK. So I think if they decide to fight, it's going to be a fight, but maybe 209 can win this one. I think they will. Again, it's because most of 136 main player are in our KVK. But you can see there's quite a few KVK that are completely empty. There's nobody playing or almost. There are only 2 alliance in this one. The last few ones are dead. $248 as a few. Which one is yours? You can let me know which one is yours, but there are a few good KVK. The 5673 looks really fun. No. KVK matchup is not. It's random. It's based on a matchup that the game decide. I don't think it's very optimal at the moment. I don't think the power is very well balanced, honestly. And a lot of the time, what happens is there's one overwhelming opponent in one faction. You can take example 38, and then there's nobody else. That happens too often at the moment. Now I understand that people doesn't want to have always the same server fighting the same server, but if you're a top 4 server, it's almost normal that you fight each other a lot, in my opinion. But that's not happening right now. Let me take a look. The NG one. NG are quite active. They have a lot of active player. They have a few very strong player. Well, not well, but semi well. And they have a lot of player though. Like to be 1 million power, they have a lot of player. I don't think NDS are strong enough. So we have to see. When it comes to this alliance, there are a few strong player, but this 248 is quite young as a server compared to 16. So their free-to-play are definitely not anywhere close. You can see just by power, like the 3-time under. So I don't think they can challenge, and they're gonna have to have a choose, especially when you look the Zephyr faction, they're quite lower, right? 217, 367. They're younger when it comes to server age. It's going to be hard for them. I would not start in a new kingdom. I do like the idea of starting over, but this game, it would be way too expensive to start in a new server. Like I would need somebody to pay for the account at that point. Like this skill is not cheap. This one is not cheap. Um, like this is not cheap. I wouldn't be. Nah, I wouldn't start in a new server. Even as a free-to-play player, I already have enough account to spend way too much time even on the game. And this one here is my main account. I'd rather spend a lot of time on this one instead of playing on a new account. Yeah, the game is merging that server. You keep seeing more and more merge server. The problem is we don't know what are the conditions to be merged. I know one of my friend actually asked very often. He basically kept asking support to be merged, and he actually got merged. In this server, there's actually a few players that are quite strong that got merged. I think 57 is actually a server that should be merged now. It's extremely weak now. But there's no real data on who is being merged. And if you're not part of the merge, you're not going to get any mails or you're not going to know that there's actually a merge happening. So when you look at this here, right, it's not because a server has one or three players in the top 10 that they're going to win. Like we have the first one here, but this is extremely strong. He is one of the strongest players in the game. He is very active. He's going to fight a whole lot. He has a lot of honor, as you can see. Right? Oops. Actually, I need to go into my alliance. Want to see. He has a lot of honor. Now, the problem with this here is if they come up with these players in a rally, we're not going to be able to protect him because this march, that march, this one all together, there's no way that his march is going to be able to beat two.
Sorry, guys. So even if he is able to beat two, there's no way that he's going to be able to beat three. And this march is way too strong for me or anybody. Maybe we have one or two players that can challenge a little bit, but we're not going to be able to protect GM still if they start to rally with these kind of march. And this is the same thing that's going to happen to you, even if you have 2, 3, 4 players in the top 10. It might not be enough. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Of course, everybody would like somebody to fund their account, but yeah, restarting in this game is all about the experience. I would say it's about starting with new friends, friends that you made in your server to just experience the game again. As a free to play or very very low spender, you can do it. It's fine. It's not a problem, right? Because at the end of the day, you didn't put any money into the game. But if you've invested in Red Skill, Chaos Immortal, it's probably not worth it for you to start over. All right, guys, if you have any question, let me know right away. I will end the stream soon. It's already been 2 hours. If you have any question about marches, if you have any question about where is Gem's open arena team, guys? Let me see if I can answer this last. Where is Gems? I don't see his open arena team. Oh, this one, I think we did it already. Yeah, it's the Loki one. We already did this one for sure. But I can do it quickly and again before we end the stream. Now, this is fine. Psionic Tide is decent. You might want to do Corrosive Power instead. Corrosive Power might be better than Psionic Tide. And again, your Loki is your star. So Loki has to get the best skill. Definitely need Fighting Master. This is decent. I am not a fan of putting Spell Disintegrator on the support, but again, your Loki is the one that has to do all the damage, so it could be okay. You need to test it. This, however, is not my favorite skill, Weakness Protection. I'll probably replace this with the Rage Blessing that gives you Rage early on. Here, you can do Weakness somewhere in this march. So either on your Matilda or your Toku. You don't have a fire team, so you can focus on damage for your Loki. He has the crit artifact, so weakness here could be good. The rest is fine. Now, this is one of the other problem. Energy Shield is extremely strong, but the problem is if you put Energy Shield on your main team and you fight a Loki, not a Loki, a Poseidon, Energy Shield is not going to be as effective because you're fighting Poseidon. If you do very well in your open arena, let me know, Gems. I have not seen a Loki top 10 in a while. And I'm not talking about the first few days, right? Deeper into the season. The reason is, again, if you play a Fufei, Loki is going to be destroyed. And overall, Poseidon is really, really, really popular in open arena. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I told you earlier, but you want to make this a shadow team for sure. You didn't use the Shadow Dragon, the Holy Dragon. They are extremely strong. Everybody can use them in open arena. You need Shadow Dragon for sure. And if you put a Shadow Dragon, your Loki is also becoming a shadow element because you have Jorn. You definitely need that. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, even though it's Easter. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Let me know if you have any question. The Discord channel is always open for question. If you want me to review, you can also send it in the Discord. I'm going to send the Discord here again. So enjoy the long weekend, guys. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.